Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be doing our daily transparency update as always. So that includes me talking about my gains and losses for today for the portfolio. Unfortunately, there are no gains to discuss today, and even if you look at the side here with my stocks list that I own, and then my normal watch list as well, everything that you can see on the screen right now is completely red. And for a lot of the stocks on my stock list, many of those are really far into the red. So we're not just talking about a 2 to 3% loss. Maybe, of course, for NASDAQ and VOO. As you can see, VOO is down over 3% today. For some reason, it's not on my watch list on the side here anymore. But as you can see, most of these tech stocks and the ones that have been performing pretty well over this whole Rona situation are really struggling today, especially Amazon is at minus 5.51%, Microsoft is at minus 6.67%, Adobe is at minus 6.66%, Nintendo not that bad off, and then we have Shopify at minus 7.41%. It's down under 1,000 once again. Nvidia at Tesla level drops right here at minus 13.58%. That's actually over what we got for Tesla for the red day at minus 12.75%. Google at minus 5.12, ARK at minus 8.73%. I'm actually not surprised with this one given everything else that's happened today with the drops and stuff, just because so many people have been getting hyped about ARK Invest recently. So every single stock on my list about it except for CCL and OSW, that stands for One Spa World, and that's for like on cruise ships. So basically every single thing on my watch list except for two cruise focused stocks, and then this one right here, which is a free stock that I got. That's the only reason it's on my watch list. COTY, that's in the green. But pretty much every single stock in my stock list is red today, and especially the ones that I own. And that includes Tesla stock and Apple stock. Tesla took a huge hit today at minus 12.71%, pretty much crashed. Apple stock took a hit at minus 10.18%. That one was actually interesting to see given the fact that Apple stock has been actually performing well compared to Tesla when Tesla has been having some red days recently, whereas Apple has actually been kind of maintaining its price. But like I said, I'm definitely not surprised with either of these being at minus around 10% each, just because of the fact, as we know, there was so much hype around the stock split. At this point, even if there wasn't just a general stock market crash, it almost just makes sense for them to have a little bit of a pullback when you think about the run-up that we've had just over this past month. If you look at this already, even given these past few days of Tesla going really far into the red, it's still up 29.31% in the past month, and that's actually really interesting to see it under $400 per share. And it definitely makes me wish I had some cash on the sidelines right now. And I almost forgot this at the beginning of the video, but as always, if y'all do enjoy these transparency update videos and me talking about my thoughts and feelings around Tesla stock, then please make sure to smash that like button, especially with days like today where we get a huge hit with a portfolio, but I still show you all the struggle anyways, because it's all about the transparency. That's what matters here. And yes, today is a big hit for the portfolio, but nothing has fundamentally changed for me. The only thing that I've been thinking about lately with today being such a red day, I haven't even been thinking about selling whatsoever. I've just been thinking about how can I come up with some money to buy these stocks while they're on sale right now, because these opportunities don't always come very often. It's not every day that you get a huge discount on Tesla stock where it's basically down 20% in like 3 days. So this is definitely an opportunity for Tesla stock. So even with a day like today, obviously there's going to be a lot more fear around today with people spreading fear, uncertainty, doubt, and things along those lines, just because of the fact we have a lot of investors that may be new to the market this year or don't understand that the stock market does not always go up. And we have times like these. It's just natural for the stock market for us to see corrections when the prices have run up on a lot of stocks. So like I said, the tech sector has been booming, even though the Rona situation has been really negatively impacting a lot of the other companies and stocks in the market. So the tech sector has been pretty successful, and honestly, most of what you see on my watch list is from the tech sector, aside from like those cruise line stocks and things like that. And that's why cruise lines like CCL are up and the tech sector is really struggling. So we did basically just see a significant dip across the whole stock market right now, and pretty much a crash for a lot of these bigger tech stocks. And if you look at Apple stock, like I said, it's at minus 10%. Tesla's at minus over 10% at minus 12.48. And then Nvidia's kind of similar to that as well at minus 13.83. So Tesla and Apple aren't alone in that sense. Even Amazon is down 5.61%, and that's one of those companies that performs very well in this Rona situation. So honestly, I don't really understand why the stock market sort of dips significantly today. I didn't see any big news pieces, but then again, I've had a lot going on today before this video, so I haven't been able to look up much about the stock market right now. But even just addressing Robinhood right now, it doesn't really factor in any sort of news piece or announcement that could relate to this decline in the stock market. I think at this point in time, especially with people seeing what's been happening with Tesla over these past few days, people are starting to just simply cash out some gains and go home while they still have some money. However, as you all know, I have a very different perspective than that. I simply just buy and hold long term, and then I invest aggressively on days like today. Unfortunately, I just put all of my money into Tesla stock over this past month or so. I will be coming across some more money this month as well, and I've also been selling some things that I don't need so I can put it into Tesla stock. So to be completely honest with you all, at this point, Tesla stock has gone down so much already, I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I just hope that the stock is still pretty cheap by the time that I'm able to get some money this month to buy some shares. But just keep in mind, it's a little bit under $400 right now, but if we factor this in pre-split, 400 times 5 is $2,000. So technically, this is just a little under $2,000 for the Tesla share price, which is still pretty significant if you think about the run-up that we've seen with Tesla over these past couple of weeks. And especially with the fact that it ran up from like $1,374 per share to like $2,500 per share. So obviously, the pullback is bound to happen with Tesla. And at this point in time, like I said, I think this is just simply presenting itself an opportunity for the investors that are not scared of taking a little bit of risk right now and buying the stocks while they're on sale. So anyways, just to address the portfolio losses for today, as you can see, just for the normal market hours alone, I'm at minus 8.87%. That's minus $13,262.61. And then in the after hours, we are currently at minus 4.21%. That's minus $5,737.01. So Tesla is likely going to have another rough day tomorrow, given the fact that we are already way into the red in the after hours. Just like with yesterday in the after hours, we were far into the red. So it seems like we almost have a snowball effect right now, where a lot of people are realizing that they're scared to hold their positions and that they just want to go ahead and sell right now. Keep in mind, I would call that panic selling. Of course, it's up to everyone's own decisions, and everybody has different perspectives on investing according to their risk tolerance. However, with me having a high risk tolerance and being a long-term investor, I'm holding as usual and buying if I can. Just because, like I said, I see a big opportunity with buying Tesla stock, even at its current share price right now, and it's likely that we will see more of a pullback in the future with Tesla stock, just because of the fact that, as I've said earlier, we have a little bit of a snowball effect happening right now, and especially when it's consistent across the board with the whole stock market and not just Tesla alone, there's just general fear going on right now, as we do have a little bit of a red day. And especially if you compare to how Tesla performed in the most recent crash compared to everything else, Tesla basically dropped by 2/3 down to $300 from like $900. However, when I think about that, I start to think about the opportunities in the future. If Tesla does drop again significantly, and especially if it drops over 50%, that is some deal time right there. We're talking about deep, deep discounts, and that's going to be another situation where I think people will regret not buying at that point in time, because as I've said in previous videos, Tesla is the future of the EV market. They are really the dominant company right now, and I think they will maintain that position far into the future just because they're scaling their business tremendously, building more Gigafactories, whereas other companies are not at their scale, they're not at their efficiency, they're not at their optimization. And if we're talking about the legacy automakers themselves still being focused on internal combustion engines, they're going to be more worried about this transition than even scaling their EV business. Those companies at this point are probably more worried worried about just staying afloat as they realize this transition is happening, or they're just simply asleep at the wheel and they don't see this happening in the future when it's actually just inevitable and they don't realize it. So like I said, a lot of the legacy automakers are just struggling to transition to an EV automaker, and so Tesla and even a lot of these other EV startups have that advantage from starting at the very beginning as an EV automaker. They don't have to do this transition, so that in itself, Tesla has a huge advantage over legacy automakers. But when we really start talking about big advantages like the full self-driving technology, the software, the battery efficiencies, and things like that, aside from the legacy automakers, we already know they can't even compete with Tesla just because of the fact that they're going to have to do this transition. But just comparing those factors and those metrics to a lot of the other EV companies right now, Tesla is just way far ahead because they had that advantage of starting from the beginning earlier on than all of these other companies did, and they can produce things at scale right now, and they're continuing to scale even more, which is a huge advantage that they have over the rest of their EV competition. So honestly, at this point in time, I think this is a huge deal for Tesla stock. Yes, it's technically just a little bit under $2,000 per share pre-split value, but still, in the long term, this is a great price to buy in. And if I had the money today, I have to admit, just looking at the aftermarket hours right now for tomorrow, I wouldn't be buying today. I would likely be waiting tomorrow just because it seems like we are seeing a little bit of a snowball effect with the stock market right now. So I have to be completely honest there. I know I'm a dollar cost average person, but to keep it real with you all, if I saw what was going on right now and I had the cash on the sidelines, I would likely wait until tomorrow and see what happens to see if that's when I wanted to buy in with Tesla stock, because it looks like it's going to be another huge red day tomorrow. So anyways, I think it's likely that we could see more pullbacks in the future with Tesla stock. However, we do have the idea of potential S&P 500 inclusion coming up sometime soon, and then also battery day as well. So if the general stock market kind of gets over this most recent dip and it starts to become more bullish again, then I think it's likely that we may have a little bit of a pullback for Tesla for a while, but we may start to see that recover a little bit and start to grow a little bit before battery day as it gets a little bit closer to battery day. And especially if S&P 500 inclusion happens sometime earlier than battery day, that can kind of get that hype train going just a little bit more. So if we don't have a bunch more days like this where the stock market's down 3% like many days after today, and the stock market starts to look a little bit more bullish again, then it's a lot more likely that Tesla could start to recover a little bit more after this most recent pullback. However, just given what's going on with Tesla right now, it's likely we're going to see a few more days of some pullbacks, and especially if the stock market does continue to go down, then Tesla is going to struggle a lot more than most of the normal stocks in the market, just because, as I've said, this has been one of those stocks that a lot of investors have gravitated towards because it seems like one of those easy money stocks to those investors, which I don't think it is unless you are a long-term investor, and that's why we're seeing so many people panic sell Tesla today, because they're not long-term investors. That's just the simple fact in itself. Most people that are selling Tesla stock today, they're not long-term investors. They weren't in it from the long term from the beginning, and so as I've said, with my strategies, I'm holding as usual because I'm a long-term investor. These day-to-day movements do not bother me because I have that long-term vision and I realize the potential growth in the future with this company. So I will be buying more Tesla stock as soon as I get some money to put into the stock market, but I just wanted to share some perspective with you all, and then also just addressing Tesla as well. It is at minus 13.49% for today. That's minus $17,189.12, and then we are at plus 43.64% for the total return, which is plus $33,490.74. And then finally, we have Apple stock, which is at minus 10.49% for today, or minus $2,315.04. And then for the total return, we are at plus 64.53%, or plus $7,733.28. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please make sure to smash that like button if you did, especially with these transparency updates where I keep it real even on the rough days like this and give my honest opinions. And also feel free to sign up to Robinhood and Webull in the description below with my referral link. If you sign up with my link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 if you use my link and deposit $100 into your account. Keep in mind you can take that $100 right back out, so it's basically just nice passive income. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.